Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a triple commentary. I am Moletrap. I'm here with Diggity and Klazart, and we're going to do a triple commentary on the last game of Group A of the Incruit 2008 OSL Round of 16. And this is a game between Flash and Bisu, and this is basically a very deciding game in this set. Sometimes the last game in a round is a throwaway game, but in this instance it's not. Flash is 2-0. Bisu is 1-1, and July and Much are both 1-2. So that means that if Flash wins, then Bisu, July, and Much will all be 1-2 in the group. And that will mean that there's going to be a three-way tie, and there will be a playoff. If Bisu wins, then he will be 2-1, and Flash will be 2-1, and they will automatically advance. So July, Zerg, and Much are rooting for Flash right now, because if Flash wins, then they still have a chance. So that's kind of the situation right now. If Bisu does win, then that means he'll actually advance as the #1 player from this group, and Flash will then have to face one of the #1 players from another group in the next round. So it's kind of important in that aspect as well.
I think it's a little. There's been a lot of talk that Flash might throw this game. He knows he can beat Bisu, and he wants to make sure that Much and July don't advance. I'm not sure if that's in his character. Really, I'm hoping Flash wins because I want to see an epic playoff, so I'm going to be somewhat biased in this commentary, even though I really like Bisu and I would be very content with him advancing. This is going to be on Medusa as well, so it should be fairly interesting. Getting started underway right now for syncing. That's on 0 for me right at that second. Anyway, but yeah, I really can't see Flash just straight up throwing a match. He's known for beating Bisu. That's how he established himself, was by essentially cheesing Bisu. It looks like Flash is going to be starting in the upper left-hand corner, about the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock position. 10 o'clock position. In yellow, we have Bisu starting at the 3 o'clock position, and I think that was teal, but I didn't get a very good look at it. It's hard to tell on that minimap. Red. Wow, I've never seen such a bad minimap as far as video quality on me. Anyway, shifted over to Klazart, and we're seeing cheese right off, so standard Flash versus Bisu, awesomeness.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, first of all, obviously the history is there, but also Flash knows that he's pretty much guaranteed to qualify through to the next round, so he can really afford to throw caution to the wind and just try and maybe score points or endear himself further to the fans by doing something exciting and doing something risque. Third SCV going out for Bisu for Flash now, and he's actually using the SCV trick to actually get an SCV, sneak an SCV into Bisu's base, up behind, I think, the ramp behind Bisu's base on Medusa, and he's actually going to try and build the racks up behind Bisu's base, and it is going to be a place that Bisu might be unlike this guy. It looks like he's going for another one up here as well. It is just crazy by Flash, and it's just going to be insane. He wasn't able to pull that off, so he's now building the racks on the ramp above Bisu's base. If Bisu scouts this, it's going to be curtains for Flash, but it'll be interesting. He's now actually going to try and get a second SCV up there as well. Not able to do that so successfully so far, but this is going to be hilarious. I think Bisu has gone for a gateway though, so Bisu might be in a decent position to defend this once he gets into Flash's base with his scout, and I think Bisu's scouting direction is going to be very important here.
Yeah, if he scouts this early, he'll be able to deal with it, but otherwise it'll be really difficult, especially since he is going for tech. He's got his simulator down, wow, 4 SCVs
by Flash
mining in his base.
Oh, this is really
that supply depot is genius by Flash to deceive Bisu to the direction of his base, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. And this is the other thing is I think this is going to be very successful, simply because this isn't a very easy map to cheese on. I mean, that's so much in buildable space in the middle of the map. I don't. Oh my goodness, he's not going to be seeing this at all. He doesn't even know this bunker is going up cliffside. Bisu is, I gotta say, I think he's screwed at this point. I'll see if that probe goes up the ramp. The probe is not going up the ramp. He has no idea this is coming. He's getting that second gateway down, but the Marines are already going to be in that bunker cliffside in just a second.
Yeah, Bisu in a huge world of trouble here. Bisu in a huge world of trouble here. He's got 3 gateways down. Flash obviously has no defense, but remember, Flash, if needs be, can always float his command center over. Bisu cannot float his nexus over, and he cannot buy minerals from anywhere else. So one or the other, this game is going to end right here. And looks like I was going to say before this game started that Bisu with this match had his destiny in his own hands, because if he won, he would go through. It certainly looks like that's going to be a tough prospect right now. But Bisu now careening up that ramp, which a crap load of probes and a Zealot as well. He's managed to get the Zealot in within range of the bunker, but he's lost about 5 or 6 probes in the process. Flash has 3 SCVs there to help defend that bunker, and Bisu's lost most of his probes, and Flash has got more reinforcements arriving as well. Bisu managed to take out one of the SCVs. He's now focusing on the SCVs, realizing that the SCVs have been repairing the bunker, and that's GG. Tremendous victory for Flash, and he stamps his authority all over Bisu. He's just branded Bisu there, I think. Bisu's going to have Flash written on his forehead for as long as he continues to play Pro StarCraft.
Yeah,
Cheesed by Flash written, rather.
Yeah, Flash became famous by cheesing Bisu at Bisu's height, cheesing Bisu out of the MSL. And since then they've had some background. Bisu came back and beat Flash, and then Flash had his insurgence where he was the king of StarCraft and beat Bisu. So this is kind of a big rematch in that sense. And Flash just going for brilliant. I mean, he used to be known for brilliant cheese and that's it. And then he showed everyone he could take everyone out with brilliant standard play as well. Now just coming here with another brilliant cheese strategy, making complete great use of the map, and just having sheer balls deliciousness in this win over Bisu. So now that means that Bisu is 1-2. That means there's going to be a 3-way tiebreaker between Bisu, July, and Much, which I know a lot of July Zerg fans were hoping for that.
I'm hoping. I just want to see the games. Those are going to be some games. Yeah, I wanted to see an epic 3-way playoff between 3 players.
I have to say though, Moletrap,
fantastic.
I do disagree. Sorry, Diggity. I do disagree about one thing. I remember when Flash first appeared on the scene and he did cheese Bisu initially, I was saying right then that I thought Flash had something special about him and that he was showing it, especially when his game versus Boxer, and that was, I think, before he had cheesed Bisu, even though I think he'd lost to Boxer in that game. So I know there were a lot of people who were saying that Flash was just a cheeser, and they were saying that for a very long time, but that was never my impression of him.
Right, no, I actually have liked Flash since the beginning too. He just kind of became generally known as a cheeser. A lot of people didn't like him because of that. Didn't think he had anything behind it.
They didn't like him because he dethroned the Protoss, the great Protoss hope, who was Bisu, and it was it was essentially Protoss fans reacting very negatively to Flash because of the fact that because of the way in which he caused Bisu to exit the tournament and ended his.
I've never heard of that sort of behavior before. Oh, sorry, I've got something in my throat there.
GG anyway.